Hello, everybody. I hope you're all very well. So, I've got a couple of fantastic plant based news reports here to share with you. Really good news. The original source is plantbasednews.org. So, if you want to see the original source for that, please go and check out their website. It's a brilliant, brilliant resource if you're vegan or plant based. So, the first story of today, this is great. US citizens encouraged to shift towards plant based diets in 2020 Dietary Guidelines Committee report. This is fantastic news. We all know that the United States of America is a country that has a huge problem with obesity and all kinds of health issues. I don't live there, so I can't criticize or say anything about that, but I'm just going on news reports. So this is a really good step in the right direction, I think, for my American cousins, my American friends. So, a cornerstone nutritional report which will inform the next 5 years of federal dietary guidance has been praised for encouraging the consumption of plant-based foods. Says the report will be used by the USDA and the Department of Health and Human Services to develop the 2020 to 2025 dietary guidelines for Americans. As well as promoting plant-based foods, the report also says Americans should avoid saturated fat, cholesterol, and red and processed meat. It says a noteworthy difference from the 2015 committee report is that whole grains are now identified with almost the same consistency as vegetables and fruits as beneficial for the outcomes examined, suggesting that these three plant-based food groups are fundamental constituents of a healthy dietary pattern. That's very strange. It had never crossed my mind that whole grains were not identified with the same consistency as vegetables and fruits. Whole grains are wonderfully healthy, fantastic foods. That's really bizarre. If you have a diet based on whole grains, whole foods, it's a much healthier diet than meat and dairy. So that's an odd one. Um, if you live in the States, maybe you've got more information on that because I didn't realize that. Whole grains, up until now, have not been identified with the same consistency as vegetables and fruits. That's really bizarre. The DGAC highlights that red and processed meat are associated with numerous conditions, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and colorectal cancer. Colorectal cancer, excuse me, and are not associated with any health benefits. That's something that I've known since I went vegan years ago. And if you are a vegan or plant-based, you already know this. This is one of the things that really scares me. Is that this is the stuff we should have known years ago. You know, I mean, this is fantastic. Look at this. This is talking about red and processed meats. They're not associated with any health benefits. Really? Who knew? It recommends replacing saturated fat found mostly in animal products with unsaturated fats found mostly in plant-based foods and carbohydrates to lower cardiovascular disease risk. Hallelujah. The message seems to be getting through. Wow. That's fantastic. But slightly further down the report, this seems to be a little bit worrying. The organisation has criticised the committee for failing to warn against dairy products, which are the leading source of saturated fat in the American diet. Okay, so they're saying red and processed meat should be avoided because they're high in saturated fat, but they're not recommending that you get rid of dairy, even though they have more saturated fat than red and processed meat. Okay, I think the dairy industry has been greasing a few palms or passing a few brown envelopes under tables there, but which we all know they do anyway. The Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee finally got it right by finding that plant-based foods are beneficial for every health condition. Really. And that red and processed meat are beneficial for none. Fantastic. But they missed the mark when they failed to warn against dairy products, which are the leading source of saturated fat in the American diet. So again, that's fascinating. They're warning everybody about meat, but they're avoiding dairy. 2 to 3 cups, the DGAC's report goes on to say, 2 to 3 cups of total dairy foods are recommended for consumption each day. The recommendation is 3 cups for most age sex groups, regardless of activity level. So they're recommending that you have 2 to 3 cups of dairy foods, despite the fact that dairy. That's bizarre. Despite the fact that dairy is full of saturated fat and it's linked to all kinds of terrible illnesses, which again, you see, this goes on. Scientific evidence shows that milk and other dairy products increase the risk of asthma, breast, ovarian, and prostate cancers. You might not know this, but those cancers that they've just mentioned are the cancers that kill more people than any other cancer. Cognitive decline and early death. Cognitive decline is the decline of the brain. So the more dairy you consume, the more likely you are to get cancer. Your brain is to fall apart and you're going to die earlier. But they've decided to recommend that you consume 2 to 3 cups of dairy. Wow, that's really interesting. The report then goes on to say Canada changed its guidelines, which was all about encouraging people to eat more vegan foods and eat less meat. So this is great. This is a fantastic report. We're being encouraged finally to eat healthier diets. Now, obviously, encouraging people to eat a healthier diet doesn't mean anything if those people don't take those diets up. Okay, so further down we have this thing about Canada. The dairy industry was less pleased with the new advice, with one group releasing a statement saying Dairy Farmers of Canada remains concerned that the updated food guide does not reflect the most recent and mounting scientific evidence available. What scientific evidence is that, Dairy Farmers of Canada? That milk's good for you? That producing milk isn't about raping animals and abusing animals and stealing babies? Who knows? So that's the first story, folks. Fantastic step in the right direction. But as I said, just because American citizens are being advised to eat better doesn't necessarily mean they will. But the fact that we now have government institutions recommending it can only be a good thing. So the second story of the day, more good news. Pret A Manger. If you don't know Pret A Manger, Manger, it's French. I'm sorry, I don't speak French. If you don't know who they are, of course, they're a huge coffee shop brand. Pret A Manger launches vegan bakery counters in Veggie Pret outlets. We're really proud to be the first high street food to go retailer to launch a unique concept like this. Fantastic. Pret, I actually do go to Pret quite often in Newbury, which is just down the road. Fantastic vegan food. Go check it out. High street chain Pret A Manger is to launch a vegan bakery counter in all of its Veggie Pret outlets and remove all non-vegan bakery products from sale. Wow, fantastic. The move follows the success of the brand's vegan croissant launched earlier this year, which outsold its animal-based counterpart in the first few weeks of being on sale. Veggie Pret's vegan bakery will offer 8 brand new items, including 3 vegan croissants, 2 vegan brownies, and 3 vegan muffins, as well as 2 existing vegan bakery items, the Very Berry croissant and the dark chocolate and almond butter cookie. I've had the dark chocolate and almond butter cookie, and it is absolutely amazing. So if you have never been to Pret and had some of their vegan food, get down there. It's really good. The new option include the vegan plain croissant from £1.40. That's pretty reasonable. Costa's more expensive than that. The vegan almond croissant and the vegan chocolate croissant, both from £1.70. The 3 muffin flavours are vegan banana and walnut, vegan raspberry and coconut, and vegan chocolate mocha muffin, all from £2.15. So it's a little bit pricey, but they're coffee shops. You know, the coffee shops, they are a little bit more pricey, so it's not too bad. It's not going to break the bank, but you wouldn't be eating out at those coffee shops particularly often, let's put it that way. In a statement sent to Plant-Based News, Claire Clough, UK MD of Pret, said, We're really proud to be the first high street food-to-go retailer to launch a unique concept like this. Expanding Veggie Pret's offering for our vegan customers has been a huge focus of our food development over the last year, and moving to an entire vegan bakery is very much the result of that. Our previous vegan bakery products, like the dark chocolate and almond butter cookie and the very berry croissant, have always been big hits with customers, vegan and non-vegan alike. That's really great to hear, because it's all very well these places producing vegan products, but what we need to be doing to spread veganism, it's no good vegans just eating vegan food, because then veganism doesn't grow. You have to make products that non-vegans are going to try. So a non-vegan goes into a coffee shop, I'll try a vegan croissant. If they like it, the chances are next time they're in the supermarket, they might think, well, I had a vegan croissant and loved it. Perhaps I'll buy some more vegan food. That's how we make veganism spread. It's not about encouraging vegans to eat vegan food, it's encouraging non-vegans to eat vegan food. So we go back to this, the final part of this report. In the first few weeks of the very berry croissant being on sale, it sold more than double the amount per day of the non-vegan jam croissant it replaced. So double. It's outselling a croissant packed with dairy. So we can't wait to hear what our customers think of these new treats. Wow, fantastic. Veggie Pret's vegan bakery will be available in shops and for delivery via Pret Deliverers, Deliveroo, and new third-party delivery partners. Just Eat and Uber Eats. This is fantastic news. Pret A Manger, I've enjoyed your vegan food. Thank you so much for making more vegan food and encouraging people to live a healthier, happier life, which is what all my channel is about. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I hope this is the video that has earned you a subscription. Leave your comments. Let me know if you're liking this video format, because I'm testing some equipment and some software, and I'm testing this format of me giving you some vegan and plant-based news. If you like it, I'll carry on. If it's not popular, it's not something that I will continue with. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.